or anything like that? Because I'm pretty sure I have at least one fatwa against me.
What?
No, at least my face is.
We're live, broadcasting now. Thumbs up.
All right, I'm gonna start recording on my end too, Tim, so you have that
Yeah, my
backup.
recording's not working now, Brian. I just get nothing but feedback.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you're the secondary.
Good time. Why do we even need to live stream this? Is that just for the recording or for the live that's having issues?
For both. Because you guys.
So once again, we're not getting sound. We're not getting sound from you, Tim.
Are we? I don't know.
I hear him.
I'm gonna jump on right now. No, we can hear him, but I'm gonna jump on.
Yeah, last time too, we could all hear him too. It was the stream that was the problem.
Well, I'm using my phone this time instead of my PC, so entirely different set of hardware.
Because literally, this is just going to be test, and then we'll restart the live.
We just cut it, dude. It's fine.
I can check sound first.
I really need to work something out about lighting. I'm gonna buy like a desk lamp or a stand lamp. Motherfucker. I'm sorry. God damn it. Oh, jeez. Nothing. Oh.
Okay.
Motherfucker. Sorry. Yeah. Exactly.
Now it's looped.
All right.
I'm gonna let her
Hold on.
and cut me some slack.
Tim, say something.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Tim, say something. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tim. I am here. Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Okay, we got Tim. Sarah?
Yeah, you got me good?
Find out.
Is it good? Are we good to go? Okay.
Okay, we got Tim. Sarah? We're delayed.
Yeah, you got me good?
Okay, we got Sarah. Aaron?
What do you want?
Is it good? Are we good to go?
You want me to keep talking? Is that what it is? You like my voice in your ear? What do you want?
There we go. Okay, we got everybody. All right.
All right.
Did Brian get a test?
Well, Brian worked
Always
last time.
good, Brian.
So I didn't, yeah.
Good worth to check. Say a few things, sir.
A few things, sir. I'm sure it's fine.
He's a quiet one, that Brian.
I said a few things already, didn't I? You guys can hear me, right?
No, I hear him on the
I
stream.
could hear Brian when we were talking about Diggins cussing with his
Cool.
his loop.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now that's out of the way. Okay, so now we're starting.
Are you frozen?
I'm a little, yeah. Okay. Hello to all you nerd enthusiasts and geek aficionados. This is our first official podcast for the Malice-Corp website. Welcome. We have myself, Mest5150. I am the pop culture nerd for the site, writing a lot of takes on the new movie news that comes out. We've got Beacon, who has given us the Great Kong review, as well as the Tom Sawyer Nick Offerman read book, which had me at Nick Offerman, honestly. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Beacon?
Yeah, so I love classics, love audiobooks. I dabble in all of the nerd arts, so you'll see a little bit of movie reviews, some comic reviews, video games, etc., etc.
We have the originator of the site, Jack Spicer, which he kind of talks about everything. So
Jack who?
Sorry, Jack Malice.
And cut.
All right.
Okay, we got Jack Malice. He is the
you.
founder of the site and has a little bit of information on everything from your tech to your books to your beers. Really, when we say all things nerd, he is all things nerd.
Yeah.
Anything you want to let us know, Mr. Malice,
I
about
think
yourself?
you kind of covered it there. How to describe Jack? He's a really big nerd. So I think you covered it there for me, bud.
Okay, well, that's what we're trying to do. We have our editor for the site who actually makes all of our articles look pretty and make it look like we actually know what we're saying grammar-wise, and that is going to be Mr. Nudie Rudy, which you can only see the top of his head right now. But
He stopped growing when he was 12.
what what things nerd do you have to talk about, Nudie?
Hi, everybody. This is Editor-in-Chief, Nudie Rudy here. Been a nerd for as long as I can remember. My main passions these days are music, video games, general pop culture things. But you will see me pop up from time to time in articles here and there. But main job here is, like Mr. Mess said there, cleaning things up and trying to do my best to keep this madhouse making sense.
Awesome. And then the morose-looking man that's just sitting there staring at all of us is Aaron. That is our video game, our video game aficionado, as well as movie critic. And Aaron, what do you got to say for us?
I drink and I know things. That's my job.
Subdued today.
And then we have, of course, the person of female persuasion for our podcast today, Super Hoovian Freak, and scratching her face. And she's the one that brings us all of our stuff, Supernatural. She's been writing some great articles about the 15 best bad guys for Supernatural. What are some of your nerd qualities?
How dare you refer to my sister as female?
Yeah. I'm television. I mean, I'm all television. I do PC games. I don't have any other form of gaming right now, but I do PC games, so I'll probably write some stuff for that. And then books. I'm going to do, I've got sci-fi books that I've got stuff lined up for, so those are going to be things I'm hitting.
Awesome. So
hang on a second. Wait, I have a question. If Aaron is the imp, does that make Super Hoovian Cersei?
Oh.
And if so, is there a Jamie? You must tell.
That's a bad trio to be.
Yeah. That's something you want.
Yeah.
And the only imp we see right now is your short self, where you can't even see your whole face.
Hey, I drink and I know things as well.
So the drink part is correct, but
you know nothing, Rudy.
He knows grammar.
Yeah.
That's grammar. Okay, so that's kind of the crew that we have here for today. We have a good 6 to 8 more people that contribute to the site. They're just not joined in for today's podcast. We'll meet their faces as we go throughout the weeks. Getting into it, let's talk all things nerd. Big topic to talk about and get kind of people's opinions on. Last week, Netflix premiered their newest Marvel TV show, Iron Fist. Followed Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Daredevil, which were all fantastic shows. So we've had a few of our guys watching it, get their opinion on yay, nay, if it's even worth watching, if it's cringeworthy or binge-worthy. So who's watched it? What's your guys' opinions?
I
Malice.
watched it.
Not everybody talk at once.
Preferably
I made
not.
it 7 episodes. I made it through 7.
So more than half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Brian, you finished it, right?
That's it.
Yeah, I finished it last night. Actually, I binge watched the last 7 straight episodes. I think. Yeah.
Where'd you end up, Mike?
I finished the whole thing.
All right. And Aaron, how far did you get?
I refuse to touch it. After hearing all of you guys talk about it, so I figured there was better things to do with my time. So I've been spending all of my life while you guys were in Hell's Kitchen. I was in Andromeda, about as far away as you can get from Danny Rand's Ferris Fist.
Okay. Well, I'll start with my
So,
opinion.
yeah, let's
Nobody has
get some feedback on it.
Well, honestly, I think that tells you right there is a pretty telling tale of our general consensus on this show from what he just said right there. But let's definitely get into some specifics. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead, Jack? You're our editor-in-chief.
You're the editor-in-chief, but he's the
I'm the editor-in-chief. He's our fearless leader.
Oh,
Goodness
okay.
gracious.
Then we're all going off a cliff if I'm leading. Anyways, I couldn't stand it. That's why I only got through 7 episodes. It is definitely cringeworthy. There was 2 good scenes. Me and Beacon have already talked about the 2 scenes that were actually good. The only reason I got through 7 episodes is I was trying to get to a part where the brother guy got beat up. That's all I wanted to see. I'm like, it was too much exposition, not enough action, and the action they had was poorly choreographed, except for the elevator fight scene was amazing.
That's disappointing.
Danny just feels so two-dimensional. He feels flat. The actor, best he can with some really bad dialogue. It's just, and I hate saying that because I loved Daredevil so much. You know what I mean? And it's just, I'm just so disappointed in the series as a whole.
That's sad.
Well, I mean, did you love Daredevil from the get-go? Because some people for Daredevil, it took them a little bit to get into it. So
15 minutes. It took me 15 minutes before I was hooked into Daredevil.
Okay. Has that been the norm with all the Marvel shows so far for you?
Luke Cage took me a couple episodes to get into.
Yeah, I would have to say Luke Cage took 2 episodes or so.
Jessica Jones probably a couple. Yeah.
Jones took 3. Took 3. The only one that got up and grabbed me right off was Daredevil.
Yeah.
But at least they all grabbed you. I finished Iron Fist. It never did.
Yeah. I mean, it may be that Daredevil has always been one of my favorite comic book characters, so I was more receptive to it. But Iron Fist just hurt. It was painful. I was forcing myself to try to watch the show, and I found myself wanting to do other things, and there was no hook. Nothing.
All right. Well, I'll jump in and try to support it. Play a little devil's advocate. It is slow. It is slow to start with for sure. And I think, in my opinion, I think we've been a little spoiled with just how great Daredevil has been, how awesome Jessica Jones was. That's probably Jessica Jones is probably one of my favorites. Luke Cage was great. I think we got a little bit of the Marvel Netflix connection and just how great they did those stories. And we run into Iron Fist where not many people are familiar with the character, at least with Luke Cage. We had an introduction with Luke Cage in the Jessica Jones series. I think that's part of the problem. And then part of the other bigger issue is even with Jessica Jones and Daredevil, there are times that it's slow. There's time that there's a lot of dialogue. There's a lot of exposition, but at the same time, it's mixed with great action. And so there's a good balance to them, whereas Iron Fist does not feel balanced. If you can get to episode 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are not as bad. I thought they were the best episodes to action as well as just that plot kind of coming to a head. So all in all, I look back at it and I think it was a good series. I think it's a good story. It doesn't hold a candle to the other Netflix Marvel series. And I think that's the biggest issue that we all have is we came to expect more from it.
Okay. Do you think it just needs those other characters that we're liking more in it to kind of help it?
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about this off air that Danny Rand is who everybody thinks is dead, and he goes away for a while, and he comes back a total BA and learns some mystic arts and whatnot. And it's the same story we've heard from so many DC characters with Batman, and we've seen it with Oliver Queen, and we see it with it just happens over and over again. And I think Iron Fist is best when he's connected to the Defenders, and that's this thing is going, of course. And I think that's what we all want to see is that connection. But solo by himself, let's be honest, he was never great solo by himself as a comic in itself. So why would we think any different from the TV show?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for from the get-go when they said they were going to be doing Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Was I wanted heroes for hire. I didn't really want them off on their own. I was hoping when you saw Luke after Jessica Jones, it was meeting up with Danny Rand and them just going out and being vigilante hero for hire. So.
Well, I'll tell you, out of all the characters that are in Iron Fist, the Daughter of the Dragon is the one that gets me the most. I find her extremely interesting, and I really wish there was more on her character development. Her story and that character is more intriguing than they've basically turned Danny Rand into a secondary character. She's more interesting and more intriguing than anybody else on the show.
Yeah, Danny Rand is one of the least interesting characters for sure. He's very one-dimensional. His lines are very poor, like you said earlier. And honestly, I think other than Daughter of the Dragon, I think surprisingly, after being one of the most two-dimensional characters in the beginning, to give the show some of its due, but the brother, he actually turned out to be a way deeper character after his addiction and all that stuff, and going to the Looney Bin and coming out and then actually helping Danny and like really fighting for him with his dad and realizing that he still had affection for him. I think they really fleshed his character out pretty darn, which surprised to say. He turned out to be
way fleshed out, but in episode 7, he's obnoxious. I can't stand him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, like you said,
I think that's
episode, 9, 10, 11, 12, he really has to.
Tim, you really need to push through. You really need to push through and watch the rest, because the character Daughter of the Dragon develops even more than where you're at right now in episode 7. Yeah, it gets way deeper, and I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but that whole story arc, it's still on an arc right now with her. And then the character
makes me unhappy that I have to go through
is so deep. That character is deep.
You have to go through 2/3 of a season before you even find a hook.
Yeah.
That's just...
It is even too much of a hook, but you do want it, especially if you like the character, like you said. Just at least watch the rest of them. It does pick up some. It gets better, more action, more stuff. Although I don't really.
And there's more elevator fight scenes. More elevator fight scenes.
Oh, now I'm interested.
And there's
so far.
So
okay, so it sounds like
cool things about Daredevil is, if you think about the first season of Daredevil, probably episode 3 or 4, when he goes into the Chinese restaurant and he's fighting in the hallway, and it's just that epic fight scene in the hallway. There's another one later on in fighting in the hallway, and there's actually another character that's introduced that's one of his former friends from the monastery, and it's that fight scene in the hallway is amazing. So it does get better, but to have to get through 9 episodes just for it to get watchable for some people, that's I can totally feel where you're coming from. But
nobody likes slow starts, but we'll see what it takes, where it goes with Defenders and stuff. I mean, everybody can make their own opinion on stuff. It sounds like from our point of view that we had higher hopes and aspirations than
And that is the point to focus on too, is that what we're all looking forward to, like you said, Wes, is the Defenders. And it's an exact copy of the Avengers Assemble model they tried and did very successfully with the Avengers series. And I mean, the first Avengers movie was a revelation. Everyone just completely adored it. I loved it as well. You know, it was just a beloved movie. But even that had the Hulk, which they had to relaunch just to start the series. And even that was so bad that they made another follow-up to that before they got the whole Avengers together. So I see Iron Fist as just the Hulk of the Defenders. You know, it's just clunky, didn't quite work. I don't think they're going to redo it, but, you know, it's just, it happens. Even something that turned out successful with the Avengers, you know, it's I think, a very good comparison. And we should all focus on how good the Defenders will hopefully be. I'm looking forward to it very much myself.
Okay, awesome. So I have, moving on to the next topic. One, are you getting shorter, Nudie Ritty? Because
yeah, over time, just compressing my spine.
The camera needs to come down. So, did you guys know that we have a poll on our website? A weekly poll?
A what?
A weekly poll.
Oh, I didn't know there was a weekly poll, but I saw the other poll.
Yeah, we have a weekly poll. So let me ask you.
Can I hit people with it?
Yes.
Then that's my kind of poll.
Well, let's start with you
Not
then,
that I want
Aaron.
anything to
What? Who's your favorite Joker, Aaron?
Oh God, I would have to go with Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. What about you, Beacon?
He is the embodiment of the Joker for me. I mean, even as he stands quoting lines of dialogue from Star Wars as the Joker.
Oh, that was awesome.
I see him in I see the cartoon version of him in my head instead of that hasn't happened. That doesn't happen with Jack Nicholson. That doesn't happen. Especially, I mean, I know that most of the people who have played the Joker have played an array of other iconic characters.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Leto won a freaking Academy Award for Dallas Buyers Club. Jack Nicholson has been in fucking everything.
Right. What happened again?
So, and Mark Hamill was Luke Skywalker.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to separate him from that, which is like the ultimate iconic role, yeah, that's definitely that's hard to do. So seeing him as he's definitely the Joker that I'd go with. Especially if you guys haven't seen it,
Killing Joke?
God. The new movie that they just came out with.
The Killing Joke cartoon. So
Killing Joke. There we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
If you guys haven't watched
I haven't seen it yet.
Joke, he came back out of retirement just that movie, and he was amazing.
Yeah, for many people, just his voice alone is the embodiment of the Joker. If you actually see a video of him doing his readings, it's
They're
crazy how
fantastic.
he gets into it. Moving down the line, Beacon, who would you say is your favorite Joker?
I love the animated series, so I do love Hamill Joker, but Heath Ledger just, I mean, I think we all can agree as far as the live action Batman,
Movie wise, definitely.
he was just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. And the time and effort that he took into studying that character and making it come to life on screen is just, it's one of those things now when I the Joker, non-animated Joker, I think of Heath Ledger. So I think he just nailed it.
That is because every other Joker before him was the lighthearted, more charismatic version of the Joker, whereas Heath Ledger was the Joker that beat Robin to death with a crowbar. You know,
Right.
But I would make the argument that if you had gotten Mark Hamill in his prime when he was younger, 30s, late 20s, and you threw him into a Batman movie at that age bracket and let him play the Joker in a live action movie, he could go toe to toe with Ledger any day of the week for playing ruthless, Robin killing Joker.
Sure, and I think we can agree with that, but it didn't happen, and we could what if about all kinds of things, but live action I think goes to Heath Ledger. Animated's got to go to Mark Hamill.
No, yeah. So I'm assuming, Mr. Malice, that Mark Hamill's your favorite.
Oh yes, by far. Not only is he like amazing at the role. He's got the largest sample size. He's done more properties as the Joker than anybody else. Series after series, cartoon, animated movie after movie, video game after video game. He has taken the role, and every time he takes it a step further and makes it that much better.
So, munch a lot over there. Nudie Rudy, who's your favorite Joker? What are you chewing on?
Cheez-Its. They're tasty.
Yeah.
Is this better? You see this?
No unpaid for product placement. Please.
Worse or
Unpaid for.
They are not. Yeah, no. The camera is better. Yes, absolutely. Not a sponsor.
Mest approved. Yes, no sponsors. But we do have a good sponsor, but we'll save that for later. So as far as Jokers, I go for Heath Ledger, totally, hands down. Jack Nicholson was the Joker of my youth that I loved before, but I mean, Heath Ledger's portrayal was so complex and so layered. And, it's just, as was previously mentioned, he went so deep for the character. He went so deep that honestly, I'm pretty sure quite a few others I've read on the internet think that that's what unfortunately led to his death, was his preparation for the role and how deep he went to really be that dark and that twisted. He tried to live that mind, to be the character. He really got method about it, and I respect it, and I respect the craft, and I think that's exactly why his portrayal was so deep. But unfortunately, Prime Light took it from us, and honestly, I love Heath. I loved him from the moment I first saw him in, 10 Things I Hate About You. Great flick. I love for a rom-com. It really was a really enjoyable and Taming of the Shrew. I mean, Shakespeare bringing it to youth, and way better than that horrible Baz Luhrmann piece of crap. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And a great portrayal by, I can't even think of the band now, but I loved them. But female band, Wes, the one, please. Messed. But yeah, either way, getting off track. Heath Ledger, amazing, great from the start. So sad it took him, but I think it even makes the role that much more poignant. Was the point I wanted to make? Is the fact that he put so much into it, and that took him from us. While sad, just really adds to the piquance of the role. It's just it's sad.
Stop using those big words.
He may look like a goof, but he actually has a very large vocabulary and is a fairly decent editor.
Yes, quite fastidious.
So, Hoovian Freak.
What?
Who's your favorite?
It's a toss-up for me. I haven't seen all of the animated series, so I don't have the full sample size to judge from Hamill, but I do like his voice the best, definitely. Heath or Ledger, his movements and his way that he interacted with other people and the facial expressions brought it to life more than I think anyone else that's played the role. Even Leto, Jared Leto, I mean, he was crazy in it. But Suicide Squad, that was just a crazy movie, and it was completely different. I mean, it almost didn't feel like the Joker in that movie. It just felt like a crazy guy on crack. But
yeah, street punk with makeup.
Just the way that he interacted with everyone, the controlled chaos that was going on in his head was fantastic to watch. And I don't know, I mean, I love Mark Hamill. I don't know if he could have pulled that off. I would love to think that he could, but just vocally, yes, I do think that he could have done that, but I don't know if he could have. Maybe he could, because he is kind of crazy too in his own way. Mark Hamill is. But I think just the physicality that Heath Ledger had, scene by scene, the nonchalance with the violence, so to speak, I think he really did nail it.
Okay. So it seems like pretty much the toss-up for people's favorite Joker is either Heath Ledger or Mark Hamill.
Yeah. I will say that Heath Ledger did have this one part where, like Sarah, with the physicality and everything, they didn't warn Michael Caine what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So that scene where he comes out of the elevator and crashes the party at Wayne Manor.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He literally scared the crap out of Michael Caine just with his makeup.
Right. Yeah, that makeup was insane.
Which he did himself.
Yeah.
Because that's
best Joker
something
style ever. Joker's premise concept. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's the most Jokerish thing that I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Not being able, not even having to say a word, and having someone who's an experienced. I mean, there's dozens of backstories on Alfred Pennyworth, but one of the most famous is that he was British SAS.
Mm-hmm.
He's seen some crap. I mean, he's been in over his head in war and freaking firefights and everything like that. And for him to be stopped in his tracks just because there's a guy in makeup that showed up in the elevator was very, very poignant.
Yeah.
And very important to the gravity that Ledger put onto that character.
Well, and the fact that was a genuine reaction from Michael Caine himself, who's one of the most decorated actors there is in history. Like, no joke. Like,
he's my favorite, definitely my favorite Alfred out of all of them. He totally
by far.
guy. Yeah, well, whoever that poor guy. I mean, Batman and Robin was a horrible script, anyways, and I feel bad for everyone involved in that movie. But that guy playing Alfred,
it was a love story to the 1966 Batman.
I mean, he was just like or the one I'm thinking of with Clooney, right?
That's Batman.
The guy playing Alfred in that was horrible, absolutely horrible.
Well, that's not fair though, because he was actually the best thing in the movie. So,
and that's sad.
That's not saying much.
You can't forget that.
Clooney O'Donnell is hands down the worst iteration of the series in any TV animated movie.
And they got fantastic actors for it, and they made everyone in that movie robotic and unfeeling, and I didn't feel a connection with anyone except Chris O'Donnell.
Nipple.
The nipple
metal Batman.
It was so bad.
Montage.
So bad that movie that to this day George Clooney still takes every opportunity to apologize for it.
As he should. As he should.
It is funny, yeah.
I mean,
so
so that was
Well, like I said, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that was a little off tangent there. Sorry.
Hey, can I go off tangent for a second? Because you brought up Alfred, and I just want to throw in one little plug. If nobody's seen Gotham, or maybe you go, I don't really like Gotham.
He is fantastic.
Because it's not really about the Alfred that's played. To me, Gotham is all about Jim Gordon, and it's about Alfred Pennywise, and it's awesome.
The
it's
Alfred
awesome for those two characters.
Fantastic.
I should get in it. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. He's behind Michael Caine the best for sure. Like, great portrayal.
Yeah,
I really
he really does it well.
And beyond that, let's talk about the poll real quick. So we had a weekly poll. We had the 5 most known Jokers actors that played the Joker. We had Cesar Romero from the original Batman 66 TV show. We had Jack Nicholson from the original Batman film. We had Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. We had Mark Hamill from the animated series, as well as the Arkham games and Killing Joke. And we had Heath Ledger. We did get a little bit of a response on it. We got 22 total votes. The winner of who the best Joker is Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Kind of saw that one coming.
Barely beating out.
It
Mark
was pretty
Hamill.
tight, to be totally honest. It's very tight.
And it's, this is
But
something
the poll, I think, exemplifies what we've been talking about. I mean, the two that came out by far on the top are Heath Ledger and Mark Hamill. So it doesn't surprise any of us on this panel.
Which is funny when you have a list that includes Jack Nicholson, because he almost always wins. Every list that he's on.
Right.
But
keep in mind with all of these guys, Cesar Romero it came from a cornball 1966 Batman TV show, but there's elements of Romero's version of Joker and everybody's.
Yeah.
Romero
Jack
was
Nicholson.
so hardcore and so cool. He refused to
But he
shave
wouldn't
his
shave his
mustache, and
I
they
thought you were
let him
gonna say
keep it, and they just put makeup over it.
Well, honestly, Adam's Family kind of way, like the suave. I really like what he did with the character from that. I enjoyed it in its own campy and good way. He was the Joker at the time, and it worked. I loved the series. I loved his portrayal for what it was.
Yeah, and I mean Nicholson, when Ledger took over the role, everybody scoffed at it. They
because like what had he done? I mean, he did
Nicholson to be
Night
touched.
he was a goofball up until that point. That role took, I think, everyone by surprise when he actually did.
Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Because I mean, I love Knight's Tale. Don't get me wrong, but that movie was corny. It was cheesy.
Oh, come on.
Don't let Mrs. Malice. Don't let Mrs. Malice hear you say that. She'll lose it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Wes, what was the total rundown on the votes?
We had 10 votes for Heath Ledger, 8 votes for Mark Hamill. Nicholson and Romero tied for 2, and little whiny crybaby Joker got 0 for Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Which
because I had really high expectations.
Well, it is a small sample size, because if he's right about what he said, and a lot of it got cut to the cutting room floor,
and that's sad, because I think it would have been, maybe it wasn't a bad movie, but
oh, come on, no, that movie was crap. That movie was crap.
I mean, it wasn't as bad.
To be about Harley.
There's
And honestly, go ahead.
But I'm anxious to see the director's cut, because I want to see if the director's cut is any better. I feel like that's the problem with the DC universe movie-wise, is that they put these movies out in the theaters and everyone hates them, and then they come out with the director's cut and everyone loves them. Why don't you just come out with the director's cut then? Because then you wouldn't have so many people pissed off.
Unless the director's cut is a completely different movie, it's still going to be bad.
Yeah.
Unless it's a completely different movie, like literally.
Unless
with
they completely replace the bad guy in the movie. The Enchantress was god awful.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that.
And they'd have to replace it with making the Joker the bad guy, and yeah.
He could have been the bad guy. He totally could have been the bad guy. Instead of those weird mystical brother, sister, codependent, whatever they were.
Well, Juvian gives a really good segue. There was a little trailer that came out today. None of us have watched it, right?
No,
I didn't know.
Okay.
been driving me nuts.
So the new JLA trailer came out, which is our hopes that this is what saves the DC universe. I'm still thinking Wonder Woman's kind of going to be the one to help us go in the right direction.
Because
A woman will save them. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they do good TV shows.
But
dude, that's an interesting conversation for next time. Is Netflix to Marvel what CW is to DC?
Right.
That's a good conversation for next time.
Yeah.
Oh. CW is far superior to the DC movies apparently, but I haven't watched the show, so getting off subject. So let's key up the. You guys have the trailer in front of you? Let's key it up and watch it and get some reactions.
Is it on the?
Brian,
It'll be on
I
YouTube.
can just do it.
yeah, Brian's gonna set it up so we can watch it straight through the stream here.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect. That's
While he's doing that, why don't we
Alright, so
talk about next week's
Yeah, I'm gonna
poll?
mute myself and let you guys go. Go ahead.
Well, we were thinking next week that we were going to do who is the best magician,
Ooh.
The most powerful wizard in
the
existence.
most powerful wizard. So we wanted to kind of come off with a new little tangent on how we're going to do the poll. And our whole thing was we want to start some geek fights. We want nerd fights happening off of these polls. And the best way to do that is to get the people that are on the podcast to have something to claim for on the nerd fight. So all of our choices for the poll will be our own personal choices, but only each one of us gets one of the people.
Okay.
So
If we
my choice.
no doubling up, no doubling up.
no doubling up.
Okay.
So only one winner, only one loser. Or only one winner and 5 losers.
One candidate for
Bye.
you. Gotta narrow it down.
So I'm gonna say
Bye.
hey, Aaron, give me a number between 1 and 20.
18.
Okay. Brian, Beacon.
5.
Okay, so Beacon, you get to choose your first. Because that was the number. So,
Oh.
who do you think is the most powerful wizard, in your opinion?
Wait, are we
Greatest
just trying to
wizard of
set
all
this poll
time.
up? Greatest wizard of all
Yeah.
time?
But if you win, if your pick wins, you get bragging rights.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so is this like who I really think or who I think people will think?
Hey, you can go either way.
No.
Merlin.
No,
I gotta go
if
Merlin.
you put him in
Merlin.
a fight, battle
Merlin.
royale, who's walking out? And,
Merlin.
All right, you're gonna go with Merlin.
Why?
You
me your-
are
give me your-
such a geek.
Why do I have to even explain it? I mean, it's Merlin, man. He's like
But
the
that's-
father of all wizards.
Yeah. But you know what though? But he's not talked about as much anymore. He's like the granddaddy, but he's
the
not what's
forgotten
trending right now.
wizard. Yeah.
Well, not if you watch British TV.
Trendy, dude. Go with what you love. Screw trendy. I respect that, Brian. Stick with it.
Oh, okay, I agree. I love Merlin.
Although respect from Nudie Rudy, I don't know if that counts, but
All right, so we're going to continue down the line since Beacon was the one to so graciously call the number and start the going. Malice, give us your best wizard.
Raceland from Dragon's
Nice.
Lance.
That's a good wizard. I mean, he's a horrible guy, but he's a good wizard.
He's powerful. He's strong, and nothing will stop him. His body is crippled, and he still takes out a god. I mean, what else can you ask for? I mean, nothing will stop him. He has no problem manipulating people. He can use mundane activities. He's master of sleight of hand. He'll crack you upside the head with his staff, and then he'll fry you with a fireball.
Yeah. And he's got a brother that carries him around because his legs don't work.
Well, his legs work. He just has coughing fits.
I'm kidding.
But yes. So, Karaman. I can't.
The
Will
stupid
is,
name
is right there.
Well,
Yeah.
So we've got Merlin for Beacon, Raisling for Malice. Next up is Nudie Rudy. Give us your most powerful wizard and why.
I got a feeling I may not top the list, but mine, I feel, is the number one contender. Is Mr. Rand Al Thor from the Wheel of Time series. This man,
That's a good
Oh,
one.
that's a good one.
he's a god. He
That-
is a god. And he doesn't just have the power to control the earth. He has the power to not just destroy the earth, he has the power to destroy the entire known universe and restart the Wheel of Time all over again. Who has more power than that? Name somebody. Name one. The universe. Thank you.
Zach.
Point made.
As long as someone else outside the author is narrating, man, because I love Robert Jordan, but God, could you have cut some of that exposition out? When your prologues are longer than some of your damn chapters. I am sorry, but oh Lord, and this is coming from me, who you guys told me to edit down, so you know that it's too damn long.
No, his series are
If
brutally
we had
long.
her down, she'd have like about 4,000 words for one article.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no,
The Wheel of
that's
Time
not. To be fair, if we didn't pull her back, we'd have a 10,000 word.
Yeah. No, it's no joke. It's no joke. Yeah, that 4,000 words, that was edited down.
And we no, it was 4,000 words after it was edited down and cut into 2 articles.
Yes, exactly. So
Speaking of
Yeah,
that,
but,
Super
No,
Hoovian.
and I do completely acknowledge that, yeah, with the Wheel of Time is one of my tied for favorite series with 3. Wheel of Time, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then, of course, the Song of Ice and Fire. And all of them are brutally long series. So I think says something about me and my masochism, I guess, but they're all, Super Hoovian acknowledged, like 1,000-page books for each one that are very tough to trod through at times. And I'll completely acknowledge with the Wheel of Time series, as much as I love that series, I was only able to make it through the first part of the last 3 books, which were written by his son and a ghostwriter because he passed, and they had to flesh out the whole, which was supposed to be the last book, into 3 of them. And honestly, it got like just the difference in width as dense and deep there. I was going to make it the first of the 3 so far myself. So I still got to make through the 2 and finish the series, but I still think Randall Thor is the man. So, yeah, point acknowledged, though.
All right, Super Hoovian. Give us your contender.
I have a lot of favorite wizards. I, for some reason, tend to go more for the Harrys. I've got Harry Dresden and I got Harry Potter. I know, but I think for the one that I actually enjoy reading more and the one that I think actually does more on his own, I got to go with Harry Dresden. Because and that's not knocking, Potter's skill, but he always had help. He had Hermione. If I had to pick the most powerful, I'd pick Hermione, to be honest, out of the Harry Potter world to have on my team, because that chick kicks ass. But
Yeah,
Harry Dresden.
There's a theory going around that if the series was called Hermione Granger, it would have been a 30-minute episode and everything would have been done.
I mean, seriously. So she was the rock star in Harry Potter, in my opinion, but Harry Dresden, I don't know how many people have read the series, but
Read them all. Wonderful books.
They're wonderful books. The character itself, I mean, the fights that man has with his own subconscious are hilarious. But he takes on things that should eat him alive by book 1, and he just keeps going up and getting more powerful. I mean, it's almost like watching a real life role-playing hero go from level 1 to level 100 when you read those books. The powers that he gains, the people that he outwits, and that's what it's like. It really is like watching a character level itself through each and every book. So that's that would probably be
massacres the Red Court of vampires, wipes out every Red Court vampire in existence,
wipes them all out
in one fell swoop.
If only he could have saved his show.
Yeah, outsmarts the what are they called, the nickelhead guy, that the Black and Furious, he
Forehead.
can take on the fairies. I mean, hell, he even bested Santa Claus, which I know sounds weird to say, but he did. He kicked Santa Claus's ass.
So Harry Dresden's you're all powerful, right? You're most powerful. You're best wizard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are we sticking to like the traditionalized style of wizard, or can we go sorcerers, supreme sorcerers?
Well, I would say Randall Thor was more like a sorcerer.
If you pick him, I'm gonna.
I see where he's going with this.
Because mine would be Doctor Strange. Though, I mean, he is the sorcerer supreme, and he knows everything, and is all powerful within the Marvel universe.
Well, he was until he got retconned.
Yeah.
No, he's not so much all powerful anymore.
But that's why I'm asking, can we go sorcerers? Or if not, if we're going...
Oh, yeah, sorcerers are fine. I mean,
this is a fictional universe with magical characters. Literally, magic is what we're talking about. I don't think anybody cares. The wizard, sorcerer,
sometimes
magician,
people get...
illusionist.
They don't really. They call him the Sorcerer Supreme, but he's more of the traditional mage wizard. When you look at how he actually learns and practices his magic, he learns it from books. He studies it from books. He's casts spells that are in books.
Yeah,
which is
sorcerers are innate magic ability, not learned magic ability. So
yeah. Well, that's mine.
If I didn't know you better, I'd have to call you a new bandwagoner for the recent movie. But I know you better.
Okay. You know what? If you want to go that, here's my backup. If we don't want to go off of the bandwagon.
I couldn't resist. Redeem yourself there.
You're breaking up there, Wes.
Hold on. I had my freaking go. Aaron, go with who's your vote.
Well, I'm going to go probably a direction that most people wouldn't have necessarily thought to go, but I'm going to go back to the Forgotten Realms. And,
yes.
Oh, you're not going to do that, are you?
Elminster.
I didn't even think about him.
Crazy powerful. I mean, chosen of Mystra. I mean, so much to the point that he's made other gods jealous of him. Been to hell, beat hell. So yeah, he's my go-to for whenever I'm talking about wizards with immense power.
Yeah, he is pretty cool.
Plus he had the forethought to create an ever smoking pipe for himself.
Right. Yeah.
This is true.
Is the coolest thing ever because you never have to refill it. It's perfect. It's like a vape pen that never runs out.
Well, I'm gonna stick to so that I don't go too much on the bandwagon jumping side. I am going to stick to my pop culture nature and probably lose this fight horribly, but my wizard would be Magic Max. From Princess Bride.
Hey, I like it.
I love it.
Miracle Max.
I'm really shocked that nobody took a Harry
What about
Potter character
Gandalf?
out of all this.
Yeah,
Nope.
And no one took Gandalf.
No Gandalf. No. He wasn't really an exposition type wizard. He didn't like showing off his power.
No, he didn't.
No, exactly, he did
It
not.
was simple. It was simple.
So we'll get the poll out this evening, or we're going to start tomorrow morning. Is that right? What best starts tomorrow morning?
Starts tomorrow morning.
And
We'll get it out there. I'm going with the comedic approach.
okay.
Hey, you brought somebody back from being mostly dead.
Yeah, mostly dead.
Very nice. I think Beacon's got our video. Well, I got through the trailer though, and I'm unhappy.
Well, give us your
make
then.
freaking Aquaman look like a badass.
What's that?
Way to make
They didn't
Aquaman
serve
look like a
which is hard
badass.
to
Oh
do.
yeah, no. Let me say at this point, the only reason to watch this movie is Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Y'all know how I feel about the Batfleck.
I like Affleck as Batman.
I'm not happy about who they cast as the Flash.
I love that
No.
casting. We are in complete opposites on this. I've loved everything I've seen from Ezra. as the Flash.
And the cyborg? And the
Cyborg, I'm not.
He looks terrible. He's terrible looking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
really.
on the Cyborg, but I love Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. I think he's a great casting.
I wanted the kid from the TV show, to be honest.
Yeah,
They're not gonna
I
pull.
agree.
They're not going to pull the universe.
A lot of people did. A lot of people did.
A lot of people did, but they're not going to pull in that. Yeah, they're keeping them separate. They're maybe we'll get a Crisis on Infinite Earths at some point, and that's where you'll pull in the CW. And I mean, in all honesty, that would be the smart way to, if you want to bring Crisis on Infinite Earths about, you pull the CW TV show together with the whole movie universe.
Well, they've
It
already
makes a
started.
lot. It really does. Yeah. But on top of that, honestly, they didn't even need to cross universes if they just cast the same guy again and had him play just a different universe Flash. They could have done it. I think it would have really helped the fan universe. I think people would have liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just, out of all of it, the thing that bothers me the most is the cyborg. He looks like garbage.
He does.
Absolutely trash.
I think it's funny.
Over
that they,
CGI, cartoony as hell.
I think it's funny that they didn't put Superman at all in this trailer. Whereas,
I think they did that on purpose.
well, at Comic-Con
Yeah.
they showed him in the trailer for the Comic-Con trailer.
I could probably find that.
No. But yeah, no, he was, because it's him and Batman kind of going back and forth in the Comic-Con trailer. So I think it looks awesome. I think it's the right way of doing it. They're not making it look too brooding, which has kind of been the problem with all the DC movies, is everybody's angry and everybody's brooding.
Except for Aquaman now. The one guy they needed to brood up, they actually brooded him up.
Well, they just made him a drunk.
Well, no, but Aquaman traditionally has always been a darker, brooding character in the comic books, and then whenever they put him into other kinds of media, they kind of turn him into an orange clown,
Yeah.
Aquaman is the standard punching bag of not just the DC, but the entire comics universe. He's just, that is his standard role these days, is like, who's got the lamest power? Aquaman. Put him in the
But he
desert.
doesn't have the lamest powers. In the comic books, he's a badass. But when they put him
No,
in
I
the
hear
cartoons,
you,
they
but
just
like,
throw him
Yeah.
away.
Momoa is reclaiming the character, and I think it's going to be great. But I don't agree with you on the palette list. I think it's actually pretty darn dark and brooding. Looking at Batman's costume and what they did with Aquaman. Aquaman is usually a relatively colorful character, even in his badass days.
Yeah.
He looked pretty, like tropical. You got to give him that. So I do think they did darken the palette a bit much for my taste, and I think Wonder Woman is the exception that stands out a bit.
Yeah, I like it with the darker palette. I think it gives him more of a position of authority to start out with the younger crowd. The younger crowd doesn't realize the reason he wears the orange and the green is because that's the prison jumpsuit of Atlantis. And he's wearing the costume because he was a prisoner in Atlantis, and he wears it to show that he remembers being locked up. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Did we lose the call?
No, we're good. We're good.
Oh, we lost Wes.
I'm here, but yeah, we lost Wes. I was texting him he just dropped on his end. So yeah, no, we're
What do you
still on the
think?
call. He was the call was going. But, yeah, so
What do you think,
and-
Aaron?
oh, yeah.
There we go. Hey, Aaron, I know you got something you want to say. You got that look on your face like you're getting ready to, let into me.
Punch somebody.
With all of the DC movies is that they try too hard. Instead of just building on the characters that have already had established greatness. Superman being he's the most powerful, always on top of the freaking lists of most powerful superheroes. Aquaman, who from his inception has been Superman's equal, literally, in strength and in standing in his own world. they try too hard to make them more exceptional, and it just makes them look foolish. It's the Batman syndrome, so to speak. Every Batman has to be better than the one that came before it. When no, I mean, you go all the way back to Keaton's Batman, the first movie that they did with him, and he was amazing. He was great. He nailed the role. He did excellent work with it. And then they had to make it more badass, and then more, and then more, and then more. And then you ended up with Clooney, and they were just making fools of themselves. It becomes a cartoon version of a real live movie. And from what I've seen of this trailer, it's not looking like an over-the-top version of the characters themselves, which is something that I'm hoping I'm right about. Because if they are, it's just going to end up another mess, like Superman and Batman: Dawn of Justice, or whatever the hell the name was.
I agree with you that it doesn't seem like it's an over-the-top cartoony, except for the cyborg. The cyborg looks like a joke.
Yeah, but they're trying to make him stand up to because he's not a really big iconic character unless you go to the cartoons or anything like that. He's never been.
Speak for yourself. One of the best Teen Titans characters. Keep going. Just yeah.
Teen Titans, yes.
That's what I'm saying. He in that world, in that medium, he's well known. But as far as DC movies and DC comics, he's never really caught on the way that Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all the other big names that are in this movie have. So they're trying to make him stand out, but arguably, like you say, it's not the best way to make him stand out. They could have made him dark. They could have shown the blood in the cut where he was remade after he got almost destroyed as a human being. But
biomechanical H.R. Geiger stuff with him, it would have been beautiful.
Yeah,
but no,
they could have done anything, but they just they over CGI'd him.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's almost like even the human parts of him are CGI. It's like I don't think there's any real practical effect left in him. And I don't like it.
The design is flawed. Screw the CGI and the way it's done. Just looking at the design, it's just bad. It's just trash from the sketch.
He looks like he was designed by a cubist.
He looks like they tried to be Transformers with a head on it. I mean, it's just, and I don't like the new Transformers style either.
He's very cubist. I can't get down with it. Can't get down with it.
Yeah, I think that will be the only thing that will take away from everything else that they're building.
Okay, well, I think we need a quick recap from Super Hoovian, and then yeah. What's your 2 cents?
I want to talk about this too. I mean,
I thought you already chimed in. Well, no. You'll go last then. Let ladies first.
I thought she was going to jump in and talk some Supernatural. So sorry, didn't mean to jump the gun there. Because I don't know anything Supernatural. That's all her. So you go first. Go.
Sister, mute your mic. Somebody.
Sarah, you're muted.
You're still.
Yeah.
Good. You missed the curse words.
Good.
There we are. Yeah.
I was going to say it looks promising. I did say that too about the Suicide Squad trailer, but this one looks better. I know it's got my big thing with DC Universe is sometimes I think they throw too many characters in there, but that's not the problem in this movie, because that was another big problem with the Batman with Clooney, was that they had too many plot lines going on with Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze and Bane, and don't even get me started on that version of Bane. That was absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, So I'm hoping that they're going to blend all these characters together and make it work, because that's another thing that I had issues with in Suicide Squad, was that I don't feel like the characters, if the connection that they had felt forced, and it didn't feel like they all blended, and their connection didn't seem real to me. So I'm hoping that they do that with this. But it does definitely look promising. And yeah, the CGI does look a little bit off with that guy. And this is the Cyborg. Is this the Cyborg from the Teen Titans?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah. So it did look a little bit cheesy. So maybe, hopefully, maybe, I don't know if they could, if it's out with the trailer already, there's probably nothing they can do with it at this point. But
it is what it is now.
It is what it is now. But I'm hoping that at least his addition to the story will be good enough that I can overlook the crappy CGI. And I am looking forward to seeing Aquaman not be the butt of a joke. I mean, what is it that Raj says from The Big Bang Theory? You know, Aquaman sucks fish poo. Right? You know, so it'll be nice to see him. And you can't go, if you want to beef him up, they did a good job casting Jason Momoa, because that guy is just beef. That's all he is. He's like, I think only The Rock.
With him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only person that outmuscles him is The Rock. Seriously.
It always annoys the hell out of me when somebody sits there and just trashes Aquaman because he's got the power of a fish. He's Atlantean. He's an Atlantean. He can sit there and go. He can't fly like Superman. He doesn't have the ice breath or the cold breath. He doesn't have he can't shoot laser beams out of his eyes. But if you want to go nose to nose, punch for punch, he can sit there and trade punches with Superman. I mean,
like I said, that he's his equal. And the biggest thing, I mean, Aquaman has defeated Wonder Woman. Aquaman has defeated Superman. Because, unlike him, Kryptonians and Amazons need to breathe.
Yeah.
It's a really good point.
So,
I mean, yeah, Superman
story.
can hold his breath for a long time.
They're
but
fighting
he's
on
gotta
land.
breathe.
And all of a sudden, he will grab them and he will transport them underneath the ocean, 10,000 feet down. Yeah. And they're all of their strength means nothing. Because
not even that, but
start breathing water in 90 seconds.
The water too, but Superman relies on the sun. He needs the sun to keep up his strength. And when you go that far down in the ocean, you're no longer connected to sunlight.
Good point.
So he has advantages that no one really talks about. And he's already beaten most of the superheroes that we're talking about right now that are ones that are always at the top of the lists. So
what screwed Aquaman up for me, or what I think screwed Aquaman up and made him the butt of so many jokes, is the Super Friends TV show when it came out, the cartoon. And it wasn't the way they portrayed him, is what they gave him for the way they portrayed his bad guys. You know what I mean? The guys that he was fighting. They made Black Manta a joke. They made Black Manta a joke. And so therefore, by proxy, Aquaman became a joke.
Yep.
Okay, well, B-Con, how much do you love Aquaman? Please tell us.
I love me some Aquaman. But
this has become an Aquaman love fest, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought obviously I was the one that was trailer, so I got the gift of no lagging and excellent sound quality. So from my end, the trailer was amazing. And yes, the cyborg looks a little janky, but if that's the only problem, then we don't really have a problem, because Wonder Woman obviously looks amazing.
I was really worried about her when I found out who they had cast for her, because I wanted Wonder Woman to be a 6'1" Amazon and just be, pound for pound, a Amazon warrior. but I was super surprised and extremely happy with what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's good.
I've got no problems
Yeah,
with the casting.
Does anyone else think though that she looks a little bit like Natalie Portman, like
Yeah,
taller?
No, I don't see that at all.
You don't see that at all? Okay,
No.
it must just be me. Maybe it's just the hairstyle, the facial features a little bit. But when I saw the Wonder Woman trailer today, while I was at watching Beauty and the Beast, I just was like, man, like that looks like a super tall Natalie Portman. I don't know why. It must just
Frozen in awe.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I think it was just the hairstyle because that's the way that Natalie Portman wears her hair a lot. So I think that was just when it was down and loose. It's not when it was tied back in the braid, but so.
I love it down and loose.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on.
So, yeah.
Going back to Beacon. Go ahead, finish what you're saying there. I'm just trying to cut Mike
Yeah,
off.
no, I thought it looked okay. So to me, I was like, is this actually going to be an amazing DC movie? It seems like that's where this thing is going, and it's sad that it takes bringing so many characters together for DC to get something right. Because I think we all, every single one of us, just loves the DC universe. I mean, who's like everybody loves. Everybody loves Superman, Aquaman. It's just so many great characters, and they've done such
never happened. I'm
job
honestly
of
a Marvel kid at heart.
all right.
I really
Batman,
but Batman is my number one favorite superhero, bar none. So yeah, seeing what's happening, I would love the Justice League to do great.
The Flash. He's my favorite.
I would too. So I have high hopes.
The
Flash is top 5. Yeah.
I'm a Wonder Woman fanboy. So yeah.
So we've each got our favorites. DC love. We got plenty of it. We all want them to do well. Yeah.
Well, since we lost Mets there,
Absolutely.
I'll go ahead and start steering us over. We our next segment was going to be we got some news from Aaron. He got to go ahead and play Mass Effect for us over the week. So if you don't mind there, Aaron, you want to go ahead and spill the beans for us and give us a couple quick minutes of your impressions thus far?
Come close, you people, and listen. This game is fucking amazing. You really need to play it. Anyone, even if you're not a Mass Effect person, even if you hate EA, you don't like BioWare, which if you don't, you're kind of nuts anyway, but you gotta try it because this game, even with all the bugs, even with all of the imperfections that come with a release, with the first couple of weeks of a release, it's still addicting, it's still fun, and it is it's still in all ways classically Mass Effect. You see throwbacks to all the original trilogy, but it is still, when you played the first trilogy, you were already a war hero. You were Commander Shepard. You were already the epitome of what it meant to be a human being at that point. Right now, even after taking over the role of Pathfinder, which is supposed to be the most important role in the human race, your character is incredibly unsure of themselves, is nervous talking to large groups of people, really leans on the people around her for logic, support, ideas, and is, while still leading from the front, is still has built a very good support network around herself to be the best at what she does. And that was something that you didn't see with Shepard. You saw Shepard could take on a Batarian militia by themselves and just annihilate it and come out on top. whereas you're not on steady ground. I mean, I'm one true boss, one main quest boss, and one side quest boss, both of which were extremely intense fights. I'm deep into the game, and still you're on steady ground with this character, which is something that's unique when it comes to a Mass Effect game. So that being said, the character development is already going great. The squad mates that you have are incredible. They look awesome. They have great conversation settings. The tearaway from the Paragon and Renegade system that they had going is more new. It's definitely more nuanced, and it's based on how much you stick to what you how you react to each different situation. So you're going to have first contact with a new alien species. How you play that out isn't going to be you have a good option, you have a bad option, you have a neutral option. You're going to have several things that you can say and several ways that you can go around initiating that contact. And based on that is the way that it's going to play out for the rest of the game. And
so there's no linear choices. It's very
no.
Huh.
It's
that's very un-BioWare. I'm excited now.
You're flying by the seat of your pants, literally, to figure out what to do, where to go. I mean, there are certain parts of the storyline that are that put you on rails, but for the most part, it is a massive, beautiful open world. And I've only been, there are, I think so far I've uncovered 10 different systems, each with at least 5 planets. And I've only really explored 2. And there's so much more to this game that I can't even imagine what they're gonna have, because you've gone from a cold habitat like Hoth type planet to overgrown alien flora and fauna to a desert planet that was high with radioactivity, sandstorms and freaking electrical storms and all kinds of craziness. So you're seeing a lot of diversity. You're seeing a lot of break away from the norms. There, each planet has their own set of problems that you need to address in a certain way, because if you don't, then you're going to completely screw yourself in the long run.
Well, we all knew, seeing as it was a BioWare game, that it was going to have an amazing story, because that's the one thing that BioWare hits every time.
Yes.
Amazingly is the story. But how's the gameplay? Because all I've heard is horror stories about bugs, glitches, and just animations being all screwed up.
There have been some facial animations that I've noticed, but this really, they're so minor compared to the gravity of what you're doing and how much fun you're having while you're playing, that I overlook them. I'm not disappointed in the gameplay, even though I'm pretty sure I don't know if this was intentional by BioWare. I don't know if it was unintentional, but the cover system, the way it works is that you automatically take cover when you have a weapon drawn. That's it. Even if there's no enemies present, even if you're not being fired at, you still automatically take cover, which is something I think is a good thing, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you have a weapon out, you're supposed to be in cover.
Yeah.
And then the cover that you have will be sometimes it'll have an odd shape to it. So when you try and dodge out of cover, you'll get caught on something. You'll hit a rock that you didn't see out of your peripheral because you're so focused on the main bad guy. So it adds a tinge of realism to it. You're not going to be able to just dodge through something or dodge backwards and be just okay with that, because you don't know what's behind you. You don't have a 360-degree version. You see what you see from the third-person perspective. And if you're not looking the way that you're going, you have no idea what you're going to run into. And that was never something that I had to worry about in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. Because it wasn't even until 3 that you were able to dodge. And even then, when you dodged, nothing bad would ever happen. If you dodged into something, you would still be in cover. If you dodged over a cliff, it would just restart your game. So, yeah, the gameplay has been fun. The Nomad vehicle that they give you far outmatches the one from the original game. Oh god, all my Mass Effect people are gonna hate me now because I can't remember.
Well,
we got
you
Mesh
already
back,
mentioned. Yeah.
But
Welcome back.
Yeah.
as
You
well,
already mentioned, the dialogue's effect on. Oh, you already mentioned the dialogue's effect on the overall gameplay, but I'm just curious now. How is the like overall quality of the dialogue, like the actual writing itself, the lines and stuff? Pretty decent.
excellent writing, excellent writing.
It's a BioWare game. It's the one thing you don't have to worry about them with.
Yeah,
But you gotta ask. I mean, he's the one who's played. You know, I want to know.
They put a lot of work into making sure that even the side characters that you might not talk to are fully fleshed out, and if they have an issue, even if it's an issue that you dealt with other people, they have a unique take on it. And there's no, like I said, there's no Paragon Renegade thing. Just, okay, well, I understand your feelings on this, and this is what you need to do, or the Renegade, I don't care, go jump off a cliff.
It's not black and white. I like much better that it's not Paragon Renegade, that it's more complex than that. That's way better.
There's always at least 4 dialogue options, and it doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you any insight into what it doesn't put those things in a box, which is what they did with the Paragon Renegade thing. And there are things that you can interrupt, like during a cutscene, if something's happening, like the only one that I've come across really was there's a squad mate that you have named Peavy. She's an Asari. The way that you meet her is that she runs and literally tackles you, and you have the quick time event option to throw her off of you or start communicating like you are, with her laying on top of you and going, hey, this is what you need to do. I've been studying here. This is my workspace. So depending on that, I think I chose not to throw her off because that would set us off on the wrong foot, I thought. And it turns out I was right.
Who doesn't like a nice cuddle?
What's that?
Besides, who doesn't like a nice cuddle?
Yeah, no, seriously.
Not to interrupt or anything like that, but I have to let you guys know that Mrs. Malice and your goddaughter are watching, Aaron, and they both say hello. They're watching the stream right now.
They got mad that they didn't get the notice earlier that we went live.
Well, now that we know that we have a family audience here, how's the romantic storylines in this Mass Effect as they always appear?
You're getting shorter again. You're getting shorter again, Nudie.
I know.
Ooh.
Had to charge the phone.
I don't know.
Set it fire to the cord. It happens. You want me here, you need the night. Sorry.
It's not the romance options aren't just limited to people on your crew. number one, or people on your team, like it was before. There still are romantic options for both male and female. There's gay relationships, lesbian relationships. I mean, they've panned it out the way that you expect BioWare
There's some
to.
James T. Kirk Purple Alien relationships, though.
Yeah.
And you literally have a purple alien on your ship, just so you know. It's a dude.
Usually do. Part of the series. But hey, dude works too. It's still a purple alien, so.
Exactly my point.
So,
but what that you have romance options from there's a reporter that interviews you every time you come to the Nexus, which is basically this game's version of the Citadel, that you can hit on. You can hit on her all the time. You can hit on one of your science aficionados who's part of the crew on the bridge. There's people in the race that you make first contact with that are just random people that you can talk to, and there are flirt options with them. There are ways it's become a lot more widespread. So I think that's really interesting that you can just have a fling with some random alien and then go back to your ship. Nothing happened. Like nothing happened.
Sounds like a whole lot of romance in this game. I
think they freed up a lot of the restraints that they had put on themselves in ways of monogamy and everything like that. But I don't know how that'll affect the relationship with your crew. That's, like I said, that's something that's ongoing. So we need to find that out. And I'll keep updating you as I go.
Awesome. So we have a couple more things to touch on. Main one, there is a TV show that's coming back from hiatus later this week. And our...
I know, I can't wait.
Can't wait. She's our resident...
I know what he's talking about. Shoot, it's been 2 weeks of hell.
So what's going on with Supernatural? What do we need to know about...
Okay, so has anyone seen season 12? Anything from season 12? Because I don't want to drop a whole lot of spoilers if people haven't seen season 12 yet.
I've seen as many episodes as I could watch. I think I got up to...
So you got up to, what was the last one? The last one was...
what's his name? Rick Springfield or Rick Springfield. What's his
okay,
name?
So you're still with Springfield then?
No, I'm not. He's done.
Is he saying? Is he saying take me home tonight?
Okay. The last one was
he dating Jesse's girl?
called Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. That was the last one.
I think
where
saw that.
They're with the Hellhounds, the Hellhound that got out of hell. Apparently, it's the Hellhound that no one can control. Lucifer's personal. Okay,
yeah, I haven't seen that. I finished
one.
up with the Vince Vincente, and that's as far as I got as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're pretty much caught up to where I am with the recaps. Then I've written up to the end of Vincente and where he jumps into the president's body with the episode Lotus, because it's not it's Lucifer of the United States as opposed to the president of the United States. So
yeah, I read your write-ups up to what you've got so far, and that's where I've ended. I haven't seen the shows past that.
Okay, all right. So then I don't want to drop a whole ton of spoilers, but the best episode for me of the season has definitely been the episode Lily Sunder Has No Regrets, where they finally, after almost 8 seasons now, go into some of Castiel's background. I can't believe it took him this long, but he's being hunted. His former garrison is being hunted by a woman that they had dealings with in the past. Apparently, they had killed her daughter because they thought that she had spawned in a film or a half-human, half-angel, which is forbidden in heaven. And so Lily made deals and pacts and basically extended her life, God, I don't know, like 200 years, 300 years or something like that, and has been systematically hunting the people that were involved in that, to the point where it's come down to, you know, Castiel and I think 3 other people are what's left. And I thought that that episode was a love affair to, oh, no, sorry, that was a different one. The other Castiel episode, but that one was, I mean, it was great. It was great to go back in and see some of his background. I mean, we know a little bit, you know, he was in charge of a garrison, but you never knew like what he did, and to see where he started from to where he is now was really good.
It was always weird because it always seemed like he always was like not quite a rock star in heaven, but everybody knew who he was.
Yeah.
And you never knew why.
Never knew why.
Yeah. But you have all these other angels that nobody knows who they are, and
no.
they're just kind of like,
unless they're like notorious or they were the archangels, you know. But he was, he was a big dude in heaven. I mean, he was the one that fetched Dean from hell. They didn't just send any old angel after him. They sent this guy, and now you kind of see why he was revered, I guess, by some of the lesser angels in heaven. And then there was the fact too that we got to see him in a different vessel. He was actually played by a woman, which was kind of fun, for just a different, but she actually did a really good job. She nailed the facial expressions, the old facial expressions, the Castiel from season 4, the cold, you know, more straight
doesn't know
to
what
the
to
point.
be, doesn't know what it is to be anything like a human.
No emotions whatsoever. It was just, there was no human emotions at all. And then at the end, the decision that he makes to show how he's grown was really good. It was great acting by everyone, good storyline. So that was my personal favorite. And then, but it did end. One little spoiler: Mark Pellegrino is back as Lucifer. The end of the one Aaron saw, the Lotus, he gets expelled from the president's body, and we had assumed sent back to the cage. That was the plan, but he's secretly being held in hell by Crowley, and Crowley's getting his own back for season 11's, you know, humiliation. Now Lucifer is the trap dog in hell, and so it's fun to see that role reversal. So that's one little spoiler.
But see, again, it's somebody doing something stupid. It's like, you got him where you want him instead of locking him up and throwing away the key. You got to be there, you know.
Now you got to, So but it's actually really funny. The things that Crowley has done to so far prevent Lucifer from doing anything, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant when you watch the episode and you find out, because you think there's a point, oh, he's going to get away and he's going to get back out and he's going to start causing trouble. And then it's like Crowley does this whole monologue about, at the beginning of the episode, about I'm 10 steps ahead of you. And then you think that, no, really, it's not. And then he's like, no, really, I am 10 steps ahead of you and you're screwed, you know? So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But that's where they left it, was on that note.
Okay. So what do you, it comes back, what, Thursday, the 30th?
It does come back Thursday, and they're doing, they're bringing Claire back this episode. The trailer was Claire got supposedly bit by a werewolf. Don't know obviously yet what's happening there with her, but they're supposed to be working with the British Men of Letters, who, as we know, eliminates people who have any sort of supernatural whatever in them, which they don't know yet, having not seen them come in behind after they've cleaned up, you know, an area, and they let that one person go. They let that psychic chick go.
The little girl, the young girl,
the one that was being whipped.
16.
Yeah, and so then they came in and killed her. They killed all the people. I mean, they've been basically killing anyone the Winchesters have been letting live. So, say Claire is bitten, it's going to be interesting to see if this is where they find out what the British Men of Letters are actually doing behind their back. Because that's a fallout that I'm waiting to see happen personally. So hopefully this, if it's not this episode, I have no idea how they're going to do it, because they're supposed to be working with the British men of letters on the side, and Claire's like their little sister now, and so if they want to come in and try and take her out because she's been bitten by a werewolf, I don't see them standing for that. So it's going to be interesting.
The Winchesters. They're gonna basically destroy the universe and Earth to save one person. We can expect that to happen.
Right.
Well, let's go on that aspect. So you're the one you're our supernatural aficionado. Give us a hot take. What do you think is going to happen by the end of the season? Something.
Well, it's going to come down. I mean, Lucifer's a side plot. It's going to come down to what are they going to do? How are they going to kick the British men of letters back to England? Essentially, it's almost got like a Buffy vibe between Buffy versus the Council.
Mm-hmm.
When the Council tried to step in, that's kind of what it feels like. I don't know if it's just because they're British. Maybe that's a stereotype, but they're going to find out that they're killing everyone. I mean, they're trying to eliminate everyone. There's the good and evil. There's black and white, and they are shades of gray. They have become shades of gray. So I think that's what's going to come down to the season and whether or not it goes into next season or not. But someone is going to get kidnapped or something. Obviously, the way the world works. But I know we've got some guest stars coming up. I think that Chuck and Amara are supposed to make an appearance at some point, either this season or next. And then there's someone else coming. I can't freaking think of what guest star it is that's coming, but I saw it on Twitter that said, oh, are we going to see this character come back? And they're like, yeah, we're coming at some point this season. So, and I can't remember, because so many damn characters, I can't remember which freaking one it was.
I have to say, I love the fact that only with Supernatural can you say what you said and it'd be accurate.
Yeah.
The Lucifer, the devil. Yeah, he's just a side plot. He's just a side. He's just a side thing. We're talking about the devil, and he's just a side plot. He's not important. He's not really important.
It's because he's busy over on Fox doing another show. Lucifer.
Yeah. But so that'll be interesting to see, because I mean, in season 9, we had season 9, we had the battle for hell between Abaddon and Crowley, and this season it's the battle of the Marks, because you've got Mark Shepard playing Crowley, and you've got Mark Pellegrino playing Lucifer. So it's the battle of the Marks, and so it's going to be interesting to see which way if Lucifer is finally going to be wiped out, if they're finally going to put him back in the cage and keep him there, or if he's finally going to get over this angsty, daddy left me, and just fade away into the sunset. Because, hey, if God and Amara can do it, why can't he just fade off into the sunset? But I like
nice, because I think he's kind of played out as a villain. I mean,
as a villain, yeah, but he's almost kind of taken over that chaos role of the Joker. Like going back to Heath Ledger, he's gone from a man with the plan to I am just here to just fuck as much or screw as much shit up as possible, because he's just angry and he's powerful. And now he just wants to go down swinging. I think he knows that he's going to die eventually. Someone's going to take him out. And so he is just gonna take as many people down as he can before someone takes him down, which is kind of scary, because he was scary enough. Like I said in my review, he was scary enough when he had a plan, but now that he has no plan, there's no way to predict what he's going to do. So how do you stop a madman that you can't predict? And plus now he's got that freaking baby on the way. Like, what the hell is that all about? What is that plan?
You call the Batman. The Batman does it all the time.
I know. So that's another thing. That's going to be the other thing too, is what is heaven going to do with this Lucifer baby, Lucifer love child now? So that birth is coming up. So that's probably how the season is going to end, with the birth of the baby. Who gets it? Is it going to be taken by the mom? Is it going to be taken by the Winchesters? Is it going to be taken by heaven, hell?
Wouldn't that baby then be a Nephilim too? Because
It would.
officially,
It would.
officially
It
he's
would
an
be-
angel.
Yeah, he would be kind of like the heaven side of the Antichrist from season 5, which was the demon human hybrid. I don't know if you remember him, the little kid Jesse, the one that made all the pranks come to life. Another character I would like to see back, by the way. And so he would the Nephilim are supposed to be very powerful, and and that's like heaven's side of the Antichrist, on the demon side. So that could be interesting, because are they going to grow at the normal rate? Are they going to be like the Amazons and they're going to reach adulthood or reach maturity levels, in a few months, versus years? We'll have to see.
Well, exciting things to look forward to, and then we're getting all that good info from you. And then after the episodes come out, everybody stay tuned to MaliceCorp.com. Super Hoovian will continue giving us updates and feedback on reviews on the episodes and stuff.
She's got me wanting to watch the rest of the episodes really, really bad. I just finding time for all of this stuff.
I know. Well, there's 2 really good Castiel episodes in the second part that I do. Even if you don't watch the other ones, I do recommend Lily Sunder Has No Regrets and Stuck in the Middle with You. Stuck in the Middle with You, that's the one that I was saying was a love letter to Reservoir Dogs, the way they filmed it.
You sold me. I got to watch it now.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
That's one of the polls that I suggested for the future. Not to give a spoiler on that, but what is the greatest Quentin Tarantino movie of all time? And
yeah, there's a lot to choose from, but Reservoir Dogs is definitely. But it had that whole feel with the shots, the music, the dialogue. It was the jumping back and forth. Nothing was linear. It was in the future, not future, but in one scene, and then it would flash back in the black and white. It was really good.
Okay. Well, we're getting down to the end of it. So last little thing that we had, our master in chief of the great MaliceCorp.com.
Master in chief. You mean basically glorified IT guy. That's what it really boils down to, is glorified IT guy that can plug 2 cables together and make stuff go beep, 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 and the lights flash.
As long as people are reading it.
Yeah, well.
He's a master of certain fishing arts, that's for sure.
So you had a little bit that you wanted to talk about a favorite author of yours.
Well, I've got 2 things. Okay. The very first thing is Robert Bevan. His 4th book in the Critical Failures series is out. And when I say 4th book, it's actually the 7th book if you count the 3 anthologies that he's written. And I highly recommend these books. And I've made myself a deal. I will not allow myself to read the 4th book until I'm done writing reviews on all 3 of the first 3 books and the 3 anthologies. These books are not works of great literature. They are works of fart jokes and silliness. And they make me think of, every time I read them and I see the characters and I listen to the characters and I envision them in my mind's eye, it's like I'm back playing tabletop games with Beacon and Aaron, with Aaron and with UMest. And if you had sucked us into a video game or into a tabletop game, what the hell would we do? Oh, screw it, let's all get smashed. That's basically, the books are amazing. The Critical Fails series is, if you don't like to read, check it out on audiobook. If you like audiobooks, get them on the audiobooks. If you like to read, get them. And then on top of that, Robert Bevan is a self-published author. He isn't somebody that's being cranked out by a very large publishing company.
Oh, nice.
He's doing it. He did it himself through Amazon, and he is now they're amazing. Just imagine a pizza delivery guy a 25-year-old, 26-year-old pizza delivery guy being sucked up into a Dungeons and Dragons-like world into a body of a half-orc with a charisma of 4. That's one of the characters. It's amazing. He walks around and literally cannot control his bowels.
Oh.
Anyway.
4. That sounds like a charisma of -1 to me.
Anyway, so
unless it's roses that are coming out.
That's the first thing. And now onto a beautiful segue to talk about something entirely different. Actually, you know what? I don't want to talk about this now because
no, you don't talk about it now. Let's talk about some upcoming things for the week. So, if anybody's watching the video, please, or watching the videos, let us know what you like seeing from us, what you like hearing from us, what articles you'd like us to write about, get our takes on and stuff like that. Number one, we are still looking for a name for the podcast. We do have a couple ideas. We've got the Nerding Hour, Nerd and Review. Please submit your thoughts on what you think the podcast should be called. And
I think that might be a poll.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to get at least 5 or 6 things.
Mail-in candidates first, and a poll, yes.
Yeah, we need some candidates first. For the upcoming week, we do have our first big convention of the year. WonderCon is coming to Anaheim next weekend. I will be there on Friday. Myself and some people I know will be there over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be bringing you content from WonderCon along with some videos and photos as well. We'll have our Instagram page getting started and see some of the photos that we got from the convention. Other than that, we are here just to bring you the news and keep giving you the news. So we know we're getting Supernatural next week. We know we're getting WonderCon next week. We're going to have some more stuff coming to you for book reviews. There was a great article that came out the other day about a fantastic Star Wars character, and Thrawn has got a book that's available for pre-order out there now. So all you people that love Zahn, go check it out. That's it for me. So anybody else have anything they wanted to chime in? Really? Oh, you know what? There is some really major news for the site as well. Malice, we did get our first major affiliate, correct?
Oh yeah. Yes, we did. You want to talk about what I was going to talk about before we did the segue there really quick, and then we can get to our new affiliate sponsor?
Absolutely, go for it.
What we were going to talk about next was just a real quick shout out to through our Amazon affiliate. We don't know who buys anything. We don't know who buys whatever it is, but we do know what gets bought. So we had two items purchased over this week. The secret, or what is it? The becoming a supple leopard.
Becoming a supple leopard was one, yes.
Which I guess is a health and fitness book. Somebody purchased the Norse mythology book that I reviewed very early on in the month from Gaiman. So that's nice. It's good. We appreciate all the support in that regard. Absolutely. So anytime if you feel like you're doing some normal Amazon shopping, go ahead to the site, use our affiliate links, or if you see something on the site, feel free. Help us support us, help us grow, because right now we are just starting out.
Yeah, if you do like the channel, if you do like the website, any support, we greatly appreciate it. Please leave comments on the videos and on the website as well, because we're looking for feedback for what we can do better.
So,
and then the last
Jack,
go ahead.
Jack, which particular gay man wrote that book?
Mike?
Neil Gaiman, right? Like, seriously,
Neil
be
Gaiman.
specific. Come on. Yes, thank you. That's all I'm saying. Why are you people looking at me like this?
Because we
Anyways.
never mind.
I load you people with it.
Oh my God! I am so glad that our one of our contributors, Saphira Rose, will be available to help us do some. Really need it.
Oh, we just lost it. Okay.
It's going so good there, and he just derailed the whole thing, didn't he?
Neil Gaiman, what's wrong with you people? Neil Gaiman. Seriously.
Mike, stop.
Okay. So, do we even want to follow up that with the
No, I don't, because I don't want to lose our sponsor. Thank you very much.
We
I
will,
don't understand, Bobby.
so we're gonna say adieu for the night. We will have a video coming out later, specifically focused on our sponsor, to say thank you to them. And thank you very much for everybody that does help support and watch us and read our articles. We do appreciate you greatly. With that, anybody who wants to say later? Beacon.
What the hell was that?
I don't know. He froze up. Well, I'll say it for us. We're gonna take off. All the clerks, the geeks and nerds. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for any further stuff that we have as well. And we out.
Hello.